Hello, hello, fearless listeners. Are you ready for another episode of Let Fear Bounce? It's the podcast that's all about conquering challenges and facing our fears. I'm your host, Kim Langling, and each week we'll dive into inspiring stories, expert insights, and practical tips to help you turn your fear into your greatest ally. So sit back, relax, grab that cup of coffee, and let's discover how to make fear our bouncing board towards a life filled with endless possibilities right here on Let Fear Bounce. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let Fear Bounce. This is Kim Langling, your host, and I am so happy that you are deciding to join me and my guest, Soodabeh Mokry. She is a registered nurse and a certified hypnotherapist. And folks, she's also a best-selling author of Emerging You, and she is the author of an immigration memoir entitled Angel Nightingale. Emerging You. Now that became a best-selling book on Amazon, actually a #1 bestseller on Amazon in 2020. So tell us a little bit about the book Emerging You and how that book came about.
Yes, as you know, I wrote a book in 2016, but when we were going through a lot of changes and in just the whole world, as you know, before, at that time. And I had a dream. I had a dream that there was an angel came to me, and all I knew that I couldn't see anything, but it was just pure light. And she said, "It's time for you to write a book." I'm like, "A book? I already wrote a book." Like, I didn't have planned to write a book. And I said, "What is the book about?" She said, "Write about love, baby." I said, "Love," and being single for ages, I'm like, "I don't know anything about love." I said, "Are you talking about romantic love?" She said, "No, dear, write about love, write about love." And I woke up and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what is this?" And we do live in a time, space, reality of a lot of fear and a lot of doubt and a lot of unfortunate hatred and racism and everything. And that was the message that came to me, that I need to start about how to be kind, how to be kind and gentle with ourselves, and how to be kind and gentle, understanding and accepting people when we can agree to disagree, but be kind and gentle. And that was how that book started writing itself.
That is, as you're talking, I was getting goosebumps because I'm literally finishing up a book called Nuggets of Hope.
Mm-hmm.
And I call it nudges. I had nudges to create that book,
Mm-hmm.
just as you're talking about, create this book about love and kindness. And the subtitle to my book is Practice Kindness.
Mm-hmm.
And
Love it.
Nuggets of Hope is all about being kind and being kind to yourself. Because if you're not kind to yourself first and you don't feel well, you're not going to treat anybody else kindly.
100%, I agree with that. That's the whole purpose of self-love and compassion and empathy comes as well. They are all in like a little circle. It goes, if I don't accept myself, if I don't love myself, if I don't, I constantly criticize myself, that is the I, that is the way we see the world and everybody around us as well. When we practice that toward ourselves, then we become kind toward others as well.
I agree. And though, sometimes that's pretty hard, isn't it? It's hard to do, to be
Yes,
kind to yourself.
most definitely, most definitely.
So give a couple examples of, say someone's sitting in a dark spot, and they're feeling pretty bitter. Maybe they're going through a divorce, maybe they're struggling in their marriage, or they're single and they've been waiting and waiting and waiting for that perfect person, or they're trying to have a baby. Any kind of those things that can go on and put you in this kind of dark spot. Give us two examples of what someone can do for themselves to try and pull them out of that so they don't feel that bitterness and that lack of self-worth, I guess, is what I'm going for here.
The first thing is just look at what you have done so far. What works in your life that you have survived, you are awake, you are breathing, you are feeling. That would be the first step, and to say, okay, I am a survivor, I am not a victim. We need to get out of that victim mentality, that I am not lucky because that was my mother's voice in my head. I am not lucky, everything bad is gonna happen to me. All of those, like a mindset chatters. And the next step would be find someone that understand you and you resonate with, and start working on, like, I am here, I want to get better, how can I get past this, and reach out and find someone can help you. There are many forms of talk therapy, cognitive therapy, and hypnotherapy. There are so many ways, and there are so many experts that they are really their passion, mission, life purpose is to help people get help. Get out of your head and go get help, because I was in that situation. I'm sure, Kim, you were in that situation. We all go through those situations, that because those thoughts, those places of darkness and hitting rock bottom and all of that, it just give us a choice, because I believe that life happens without our control, right? But at any given moment, we can make a decision, we can choose to be better for the rest of my life, or to get help and take a step toward how can I change myself, how can I get help and go to the next and find hope and light in your life. Because the thing is that knowing that we are worthy of finding hope, finding great experiences, and taking action toward that.
I hope that those that are out there listening, I hope that you're catching some of that, because I am positive a couple of the things that she mentioned would resonate with pretty much anyone, because you don't get through life unscathed. You just don't. There's going to be bumps in the road. You're going to stumble and fall, maybe really hard, flat on your face a few times, but it's all on the getting back up, because you can. You can. And I like how you mentioned, you said we all have a choice.
Yes. We keep telling ourselves, I just don't have a choice. I have to stay in that, for example, unfulfilled job. I have to stay that in that unfulfilled relationship. I have no choice. We have choices. We just choose to stay there.
Every day is a brand new day. And I look at it like, you wake up. First off, I want to try and and I don't do it every day, and I get mad at myself for it. But I
Mhm.
try and remind myself, Kim, three things before you even start your day. You just woke up. What are three things you're grateful for? And
Most
if you
definitely.
start your day with something as simple as that, you would be amazed at the mind shift that happens. Maybe you wake up and you're tired because you barely slept because the baby was up crying all night long, or you've been sick, or a loved one's been sick, and you're just overwhelmed, overburdened, and burnt out. And you're forgetting to look around and realize what you're grateful for. That's just, that's what I do. Tell myself, okay, Kim, three things you're grateful for. And it might just be I'm breathing. I'm hugely grateful to be able to take a deep breath when I wake up in the morning. I'm grateful to be able to do that big stretch. I'm grateful to be able to get out of my bed and walk, because so many people can't.
Absolutely. Being a nurse, I mean, I have a different perspective about life and about our capability, about our ability, because I see patients, people that they cannot walk, they cannot talk, they cannot eat. I mean, can you imagine not eating, not being able to swallow, not, I mean, so many things that we can be grateful. And my patient has always been the source of inspiration for me, because I see the resilience of human spirit within them.
Now that you're a registered nurse, and you are a registered nurse in oncology.
Yes.
So you are seeing those warriors each and every day. They're fighting big battles. And that's, I have to often remind myself, Kim, your day might be kind of poopy, but
Mhm.
there's someone out there that's fighting a way bigger battle than you are right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And some of the listeners may be in that position, and just know that there is hope. There is always hope, and it all begins with our mindset, how we can look at life, changing that glasses, the dark glasses, and find something that is everything is rainbow. I mean, we talk about it, and we don't have to always be positive. I always teach my clients, my patients, like, it is okay, you need to express where you are. I am not saying that you are suffering and with health issues or whatever that is going on in your life to say, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, because you're just lying to yourself. That the mind is not going to accept it, your body, your soul is not going to accept it. Express it, take it out of your system. Journaling, there are many ways that we can do that. And once you accept, once you express where you are, and then say, what is it that I really want? How can I get out of this situation? How can I become healthier? How can I become better? How can I look at things in a different way? Do you have to go back to school? Do you have to get a new job? Do you have to leave the unhealthy, in a light word, relationship, job, situation, to go and find something better, because you are worthy and you're deserving to experience that.
We weren't put on this planet to live in misery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
100%.
that's hard to take a risk on yourself sometimes for a lot of people. It is. It's very hard, and I acknowledge that. I'm one of those people where it's like, nothing's stopping me. I'm like, I just plow right through. you
Yes.
know? But I also know that not everyone is like that. you
Yes.
know so that's why I love doing this show and having folks like you on, that little spark of light, those little nuggets of hope that you're tossing out there right now to people, that it's landing on the ears of someone right now that's listening, that needed to hear it, at least. And that's
Yes.
why it's such a blessing to be able to do this, and I'm sure you feel the same way about many of the things that you do, because tossing out all that goodness, it comes back to you and just keeps you motivated to do more.
Most definitely.
So I want to go to the beginning of your journey when you were in your 30s. Now, actually, you were 30. You were escaping your war-torn homeland at the age of 30, and you discovered an inner strength that you didn't realize that you were capable of. And the words that you used in your bio, which are pretty heavy, and I wonder if folks caught these at the beginning of the show. It says, you know exactly what it feels like to live a life that is shattered, filled with fear, and more hopeless by the day. That is pretty heavy. I can't say that I could resonate with that. I'm being honest, because it's a lot. And I've never had to flee a war-torn country. So share a little bit about that, if you are willing to, please, and how that shaped what it is that you're doing now.
Yes, absolutely. I believe the challenges that we experience is just allows us to pushes us to find our worth and our strength and our courage, even though we don't believe in ourselves. And that was my story. I grew up not believing in myself. I was the shortest of the whole family. I was teased, I was mocked. My mom was very strict. She was a teacher, and we lost our father to a sudden heart attack when I was 13 years old, which took me in a long journey with depression already. When I was 19 years old, I was in a nursing school, and it was when the revolution took place in Iran, and the government came and they wanted to close all the colleges and universities. And we were, as a student, and we were young, and we were like, no, you cannot do that. In that process, I was tortured, I was captured, tortured, beaten into a coma, which took me in more time with struggling with depression. and I experienced 8 years of war. So I experienced a lot of loss already before I even go to that time. And then I got married. We had a 4.5-year-old son, and I was pregnant 7 months um, with my daughter when my husband, who was an activist, we both were activists, he had to flee the country. And it took him 3 years to bring me here, but he didn't want to, and I didn't know why. When my brother he passed away in a car accident, that he wanted to bring me to take me to American embassy in Turkey to get the visa, for me. And that by that time, my second child, was 2.5 years old, to bring me to America when he passed away. And you can imagine all of these little things that I am just going briefly is because of our time, and it's in length in my books, is came here to America, and I realized that everybody, my family, was right. My husband had already had a life of his own and didn't want me. It was a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse, and I thought my life wasn't worth living anymore. So I attempted to end my life, and I failed in that too. By that time, I said, okay, God.
That's a good failure.
Yes. I'm like, I have survived a lot of life and death situation. There must be something here for me. What can I do? Because the husband is gone. Didn't have any money because we lost everything. We sold everything to come here. Didn't have any money. Didn't have a job. I was a nurse for 10 years in Iran. Didn't have that. I didn't have a family or friends, and I couldn't even speak English. I'm like, okay, what can I do? So through my faith, it was I can say a blind faith, because I didn't know what is going to be happening tomorrow, the next day, the next day. And I knew, like, okay, I am here. There is no way, I can check out. So I have to check in to see what I want. And it was then that I went back to school, learned to speak English, went back to school again to become a registered nurse. And I had everything, material. I bought my house because I worked really hard. I had brand new car, and I felt empty inside. There was nothing left. And again, I want to end my life. It was then when I reached out to my doctor. I said, I have planned to what to do. Help me, because my kids don't have anyone. And it was in that journey that when I say, if you are in a dark place, go get help, because my doctor really helped me. And I was able to get out of that mindset. I work with talk therapy practitioners, and I learned about hypnosis, and that was the beginning of my journey. And I realized my potential, that everything that is in my head, literally they say it is in your head, in our head, it was just something that I needed to change. And the crazy thing about the mindset is, when we are growing up before the age of 6 and 7, our mindset shapes. We have certain beliefs that we perceive, we learn, as we watch our parents, our family, and we don't have literally access to 95% of those the beliefs that we have, the subconscious beliefs that we have. Everything that we see and we act and react, and all of our behaviors, is based on only 5% on a conscious level. So I realized that I need to get help to get myself better. And as a result of working on myself, searching for an answer to find hope and healing for me, I realized that this is my life purpose. I went through all those challenges to find that I am worthy. I am good enough. I am smart enough. And I have a choice. No matter what happens around me, I do get frustrated because I'm human. I get upset and all of that, but at the end of the day, I am looking at it. What is my choice? What is it that I can do to get out of this space? And that it was the long story becomes short, that is my journey.
I was just going to say, what an amazing journey. And I'm hoping folks out there listening that you caught that you're caught that you caught a lot of what she said. And I had said earlier to remind myself, somebody out there always has it worse. I look at my bumpy road, and I'm not downplaying anyone's journey because your journey is yours, and when it's hard, it's damn hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have words really from when you were 19 to when realize that your husband didn't love you anymore. You're going through a lot more abusive situation, had to start life literally all over again in a foreign country, not knowing the language, not having a job. I mean, that couldn't even have been easy to figure out how to start to go to school. I mean, that had to have been difficult as well. No family, no friends. I can't even put myself in that situation, but it does show the power of the human spirit, and that in every person there resides a warrior. And oh my goodness, Soodabeh, you are one hell of a warrior. You are. My gosh, you are. I mean, from what you went through in your home country to what you went through to get here, and you had two little ones with you.
Yes.
You had two little ones to raise along the way, and that in itself is a very big job. you know
Yes.
so wow, so when you were okay, I want to go back when you were reaching out to your doctor and said, hey, I need help. At what age were you then?
I was 33, 34, something around that. Because my kids were, they were teenagers and they didn't need me. So that's another thing. We are growing the kids, we do all the sacrifices, for example, we tell ourselves, and then they don't need us. So what is my identity, right? That was it. That was the that triggered everything. Nobody, and that was my the script in my head always. Nobody loves me. Nobody loves me because I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. That was my script, and I had no idea. I remember, Kim, about Louise Hay. There are lots of people may know her. She passed away a few years back, and she's that big publishing with all the spiritual books and everything. And one of her tools that she gives people that look in the mirror every day and tell yourself that you love yourself. And I looked in the mirror and I could not tell myself that I accept myself, I love myself. And I started crying. And that was part of my breakthrough, that why I don't love myself. If I don't love myself, how can I attract someone to love me?
And that is very hard. Looking in the mirror, she was not able to say
Yeah.
she loved herself. And that's hard. It is a very hard thing. First off, you feel weird,
Yes.
even though it's just you standing there.
Yes.
It's like, well, what do you feel weird about? It's not like, why is it embarrassing? It's just you.
Yes.
It's that you've got that block, you've got that mental block in your head. Like for you, you kept saying, nobody loves me, nobody loves me. Your whole life is that's how you felt. And I'm assuming that was from a young age.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I look everybody in my family, nobody, I didn't feel I belong. I remember when I was very, very age and I thought I was adopted, because I didn't look like anyone. And being teased and mocked and all of that did not help with my mindset.
No, no, that would not. But all of the things that you went through, and now here you are, you're on a mission.
Yes.
With everything you do now, it's positive, whether it's, your work, like you're R as an RN, you're an author. Oh, I want to ask, this is how my brain goes. As soon as I said author, do you have another book in the works? Is something else coming out?
Actually, yes. I am working on my third book. and I have no idea what it is, but I know that I have to write it. And I know once I start writing it, because, when at the beginning, I said journal about, your feeling and everything, journaling helped me a lot. And I'm like, I just don't know what to write about. And I just hear in my head, like, go read I mean, I literally have a lot of journal, a lot of information, a lot of working with my patient, working with my clients, because both my books have a really inspiring stories of my patient, because I shared their journey as well. So it's not just my journey, it's about how people, those scenarios that when people are going through that difficult time, and how they came, got into a place of peacefulness and calmness and acceptance, and those who didn't and stayed in that darkness, what happens in those. But yes, we can do anything. I am not an extraordinary person. I am an ordinary, very shy, believe it or not. And I was didn't I grew up with a little mindset of not good enough. But I just got in a place that I thought, people say, oh my God, you gotta write your book. I'm like, English is my second language. What do you
Right. That's another thing people have to realize. English is your second language.
Yes.
And
And
most Americans don't even speak two languages. So what a journey. My goodness, what a journey you've had. And everything that you've overcome and faced, and you're still standing, even though you didn't want to be a few times. And you admitted
yes,
that too. You wanted to end it all a few times. What was the one thing that made you say, I have to get help? I don't really think I should end this. I think I need to live. Was there one thing in your mind that sparked that change of thought?
my children, the love that I had with my children, and I would cry day and night. I'm like, I am gonna traumatize them for the rest of their lives. I have to get help. And that was when I went to my doctor. I said, I gotta get help. It's not fair to my children. I brought them to this world, and I have to make sure that they have a better life than I have. And my children would tell me, like, when I was going through therapy and I was getting, they would say, Mom, you are happier. Mom, you are better. It was something that literally they could feel changed within me. And because I wanted to make sure that they don't end up being in the same situation I was. And that really was the basis of my effort, because I always say, if it wasn't because of my children, I would not be here.
That's powerful stuff. The love of a mother.
Yes.
Wow. This has been a heck of a conversation, and I could keep going for a long time because I have all kinds of questions that I wrote down that we haven't even gotten to. I take notes as we're talking. But so that means, I'm just gonna have you back on again sometime in the future, because I think that your message and what you do in all the different realms, the different things that you do in your life, sends out those nuggets of hope all over the place. And I think that's just awesome. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you, because no matter what we experience in life, that when we focus on our passion and mission and life purpose, and believe it or not, we all have it. There is a reason we are here. And if we just use that power within that everybody has, then what you are doing, Kim, you're bringing light and hope and love into the world. So I appreciate you to give me and people like me that, to bring that you are not alone in your journey. You're never alone in your journey.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, look at us, just a couple of rock stars rocking on.
I
It's the self-appreciation day.
love it. We don't get it enough.
We have to appreciate ourselves, by golly. Go sit in the
Yes.
bathroom and look in the mirror.
Honestly, every time like I do something, and some majority of time, especially as women, we wait for someone to say I appreciate you. But I go, do something, and like, I did good. You are amazing. I mean, in my head, I'm like, you are amazing. And the words that we tell ourselves at those specific moment, because we believe it. When I say, Soodabeh, you're amazing. And at that very moment, I believe in it. And what we do, we are just changing that mindset, because we can shift. The brain has the power, the neuroplasticity that they say, that we can shift that. But we have to believe in it. We have to feel it with all of our being for that mindset to shift from, Soodabeh, you are not good enough. Soodabeh, nobody loves you, to Soodabeh, you're amazing. You're a rock star. And all of
Yeah.
these things. Just tell myself, I am not going to wait for somebody to tell me. I am.
Right. There you go. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me. I love it. I love it. No, okay. Let folks know where they can find you, because we're going to get ready to wrap up here. But let folks know where they can find you and all your both of your amazing books. And then, if you could toss out a nugget of hope to the listeners that they can tuck away and carry with them for the rest of the day.
Yes, I am. All of my social media is my name. Website also is soodabehmokry.com. And when going to my website, they can get all the information, all the courses that I have, all the books. But also, if you don't want to go to the website and you just want the book, you can go to Amazon, and my books are there as well. So there are many ways to find me. Google my name and it just comes.
And all of her links, folks, will be in the description notes. So you'll be able to click right on those and get to those spots as well. So now, Soodabeh, if you could toss out a nugget of hope to the listeners.
Yes, what I have learned is just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Those thought that comes, that the wishes, the dreams, the hopes that I wish I could do that, just go for it. There is a reason. There is a reason you have those wishes, those hopes, those dreams, and get out of your way of, I cannot do that. I wish I was there, but I cannot. Take that I cannot and focus on what is it that you want, and go one step at a time, and you can get there. I promise.
One step at a time. That is right. Yeah, you've got to get out of your own way.
Yes,
That's we are our own roadblocks most of the time.
most of the time.
Yeah. Well, Soodabeh, this has been an absolute pleasure having you on as my guest today. I just truly enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much for being my guest.
You are welcome, Kim. I enjoyed it as well. Thank you. I appreciate you, and sending you a lot of blessings on your journey on the path of bringing so much hope and healing and kindness to the world.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And everybody out there listening, I hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. And tune in each Wednesday, folks. New episodes drop each Wednesday on your favorite listening platform, as well as you can go to YouTube and listen on there. And while you're there, folks, like and subscribe, won't you? I appreciate all of you. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Everybody be well, stay well, and be blessed. And that is a wrap, my fearless friends. Thanks for bouncing along with me on another episode of Let Fear Bounce. I hope you're feeling a bit motivated and ready to take on any challenge that might come your way in the coming days. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode of Let Fear Bounce. Tune in each week for your dose of inspiration from my amazing guests from all over the world. So until next time, keep bouncing forward and stay fearless, my friends. Everybody be well, stay well, and above all, be blessed.